Good evening, friends, colleagues, citizens, students, and parents. Welcome to the February 24th, 2014 fiscal year 2015 budget public hearing of Prince George's County Board of Education. As always, I would like to remind folks in the crowd that if you have a cell phone, remember you used to have to ask if you have a cell phone? Turn your cell phones on vibrate or turn them off, please, as they interfere with the microphones and with our folks who will be speaking with us this evening. So, Ms. Jackson, can you start us off by calling the roll, please?
Dr. Anderson? Mr. Barrows? Ms. Epps? Here. Ms. Eubanks? Here. Ms. Higgins? Ms. Jacobs? Dr. Kaufman? Ms. Mundy? Mr. Valentine? Ms. Waller? Present. Ms. Williams? Ms. Musarayo? Here. Ms. Boston? Here. Dr. Eubanks?
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. So the Board of Education has convened this evening for the sole purpose of receiving public commentary on the fiscal year 2015 budget. The Board of Education appreciates your participation in the FY 2015 budget process. Only with the collaboration of our constituents, our parents, our students, our teachers, and our citizens will we be able to develop a financial plan that best meets the needs of the student population and staff of Prince George's County Public Schools. Through the budget work sessions and public hearings, the Board of Education will fine-tune the plan as appropriate and ensure that it is focused on our key priorities. More information is available on the PGCPS website at www.pgcps.org. The Board of Education is scheduled to adopt its budget at the February 25th, 2014 board meeting, that's tomorrow, at 7:05 p.m. here at Sasser. The recommended budget will then be forwarded to County Executive Mr. Rashawn Baker, who will develop his proposed county budget and present it to the County Council in March 2014. The County Council must adopt a budget which includes school system funding designated by category, and then it goes to the state legislature in April 2014. The Board of Education will then reconcile with the county approved budget, and it will be adopted at a regularly scheduled meeting in June 2014. So, colleagues, we now hear from our registered speakers for public comment, who will speak for 3 minutes in a public forum where the board will listen to your statements. Now, friends, I've heard rumor that my largesse of allowing unregistered speakers to participate in our forums has gotten around. But this evening we have a nice long list of speakers, so I think that we will very adequately represent the needs of our constituents. So only our registered speakers will speak today. We have about 21 of them today. I will remind folks that you've been registered to speak in public comment forum where the Board of Education will listen to your comments. The board will not address your comments. All registered speakers will have 3 minutes to make their presentation. At the sound of the buzzer, speakers would please complete just that sentence only. Registered speakers may not relinquish any part of their speaking time to another registered or unregistered speaker, and speakers should not address individuals or issues with profane or derogatory terms, which of course we know no one here will do such a thing. So with that, it is my pleasure to start our process this evening with our first registered speaker for the evening, Lily Thomas, 6th grade student at Judith P. Hoyer Montessori School. Lily, would you please come forward?
Good evening. My name is Lily Thomas. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak to you this evening. Everyone from Judith P. Hoyer Montessori, please rise. Thank you. I am here to speak in support of the expansion proposed for my school. I would love to participate in this expansion, and I would be in the first class to benefit from it. Over the last 8 years, I've grown to love the teachers, classes, activities, and parents. Please help us secure an expansion so I and other kids in our part of the community can benefit from the awesome things that the expansion would bring. I love this school too much to say goodbye. Again, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And now, I would like to present Nate Hansen.
I am a second grader at Drew P. Hoyer Montessori. I like the subjects math and science. We are hoping to have a middle school. I hope you vote for it, and I think it will be good to have one. At school, we get to work by ourselves and in groups. In life, you have to learn how to cooperate with the team and with yourself. Thank you.
Thank you both so much. Of course, any good rule is meant to be broken, and in this case, any sixth grader can yield their time to a younger student from now on. Thank you. Our second speaker is Salma Figueroa.
Greeting Dr. Maxwell, board chairman, board members, and guests. My name is Salma Figueroa, and I'm here on behalf of Dodge Park Elementary School. We as parents support the idea of extending the half-day for pre-K to a full day. We believe that extension of the day will help the children learn more than what they will on a half-day schedule, because they will spend more time in class. Kids who don't speak English will pick up on the English language faster by being around kids who do speak fluent English. The more time kids spend in school, the better, because in school they are able to expand their knowledge rather than leaving school early and playing around or watching TV. Extending the half-day program will also help parents who are not able to work full-time job because they have to worry about getting out of work to pick up their pre-K students. They will also not have to worry about being unreliable at their job due to the fact that they have to leave early for their children or worry about transportation for them. Because of these reasons, I believe that extending the day for pre-K will be very helpful for both the children and the parents. So please consider approving this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, before we move to our next speaker, I know there's a number of our friends and colleagues who are standing, and there's some seats in the middle. So if you're in the middle, if you have room and you're on the ends, if everyone could kind of scoot in so that there are seats for our friends and colleagues who are standing, I'd very much appreciate it, so that you folks in the back can feel free to sit down and relax and find a seat. Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is Lori Morrow.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Lori Morrow, and I'm a parent at Tulip Grove Elementary School in Bowie. Our school is 50 years old, and we're excited about the upcoming renovations next year. However, it feels as though the issue of housing our students during construction was more of an afterthought. I am here tonight to advocate for the use of the Meadowbrook building in Bowie as a swing space for Tulip Grove. After multiple meetings with the capital programs team, it is very clear that our families want our students to stay nearby during the 2-year renovation. We understand that PGCPS has vacant facilities in South County, recently used by Doswell Brooks and Avalon Elementary Schools. But in both of those cases, students were still within 3 miles of their original site. For us, those locations are 18 and 20 miles away. One of the things that makes Tulip Grove special is our very active volunteer base. A couple years ago, we actually tallied up the volunteer hours as part of our PTA program. For less than 400 students at the time, our regular volunteers recorded more than 2,300 hours of volunteer time during the school year. And those were just the people who did a good job of actually logging in their specific hours each time they came in. Many of those parents and grandparents come in for an hour or less to help with the lunchroom, to teach art for our supplemental PTA art program, or to participate in class events. If our students are 30 minutes away, many of those volunteers will not be able to contribute, and our children will lose out. However, there is a better option. The Meadowbrook building is a mile from Tulip Grove Elementary, close enough for us to continue our volunteer support with minimal disruption. In addition, we see this as an opportunity for the board to invest in swing space for the central part of PGCPS, something that is clearly lacking at the moment. There are many other aging facilities in this part of the county, and by creating a swing space in Bowie, the capital programs team can be better prepared to meet those community needs without presenting options that include busing 450 elementary students 20 miles down the Beltway or disrupting another of our local elementary schools. Keeping our students in our community is important to us. Any other option is simply unacceptable and will jeopardize the close-knit community that is the very foundation for Tulip Grove's excellence. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is Doan Weaver.
Good evening. My name is Doan Weaver, and I am the mother of 2 children and also the PTA president at Tulip Grove Elementary School. Would everyone representing Tulip Grove please stand? Thank you. We are here today because while we are incredibly grateful and thank you that Tulip Grove will be renovated, we are also incredibly disappointed that we don't know where our school will be during the renovation. So we are asking that 1, the Tulip Grove renovation stays on the budget and occurs as scheduled. 2, all the necessary funds are in place to ensure our children's quality of education is not diminished during the process. And 3, we go to the old Meadowbrook School during construction. 3 of the 4 swing space options capital programs presented to us were just not acceptable. Let me tell you why. The PTA surveyed our parents and found that 92% of those who responded are not likely to send their children to a Tulip Grove located in Forestville or Temple Hills. Only 47% would likely send their children to a co-location at Yorktown. Destroying everything we have built academically and as a community, that's not acceptable. Sending our children 20 miles away on school buses, on the Beltway, during rush hour, that's not acceptable. Forcing another school to be totally disrupted in order to fix what was wrong at our school, that causes animosity between schools, and that's not acceptable. Building essentially another school on the grounds of an existing school and then expecting both of those schools to operate simultaneously, that's not acceptable. Budgets are tight and funding is hard to find, so properly planning and then not properly planning and then misusing thousands, possibly millions of our tax dollars on decisions that are temporary fixes, that's not acceptable. What is acceptable is keeping the Tulip Grove renovation on schedule, making sure funding is in place for all of the costs associated with the renovation, and investing in long-term swing space option for PGCPS. That's acceptable. Sending us to Meadowbrook, which is about a mile from Tulip Grove, where 95% of parents would send their children, and the lives of our students, parents, and staff are not totally disrupted, that's acceptable. Dr. Maxwell, members of the board, our children deserve to have a quality education in the place where we live and pay taxes. That is our right, and that's your responsibility. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Monica Levin.
My name is Monica Levin, and I'm a nationally board-certified music teacher and a board-certified music therapist. I have taught music to children with special needs for my entire 27 years here in Prince George's County. My purpose tonight is to ensure access, equity, and equality of music instruction for special education students. During a recent NBCT event, we were challenged to be leaders in changing policy. This charge continued. We need your voice in developing policies that matter for our children and teachers. Here is my voice on behalf of these children who attend our schools. With Donaill House at the helm, nearly 5 years of work collecting data and information, hearing personal stories have brought us to this point. I'm committed to the following 3 goals, and you are going to be my help with the solution. 1, close the staffing gap for special education classes in music. Special ed staffing is based on IEP needs. Who is funding the arts for special education students outside of the parameters of the IEP? You have the power to make this change. 2, why can't music be on the IEP, and what would it take to get music on the IEP? Can music be an instructional strategy, supplemental service, or identified as part of the curriculum? Options must be explored. 3, provide access to resources and support to general music educators who have inclusion groups, including modified resources, instructional visuals, behavior supports, and a music paraprofessional. We must do away with doubled up and tripled up CRI and CSEP classes. This is clearly not appropriate. There are success stories in our county. Denise Barone gives kudos to her school for having a support system in place for inclusion. This is not the standard. We can use it as a model. Please provide teachers with this support so students can enjoy the benefits of developmentally appropriate music instruction. Governor O'Malley and Dr. Maxwell support an arts integrated curriculum. Important for typically developing learners, this is even more critical for children with special needs. Our children learn best when instruction is delivered through a multi-sensory strategy such as music. Music is a powerful learning tool and can uniquely address music standards concurrent with classroom curriculum, objectives, and IEP needs. Please support equitable funding for staffing music positions and resources specific to this population. We all know that it is necessary. Who is going to take responsibility to see that it happens? A parent writes, "My child is nonverbal and it's hard to know what she understands. But when music is involved, she is more focused, attentive, and interactive." You can see to it that music remains a part of her educational plan. Dr. Eubanks, at the NBCT ceremony you stated, all we need to do now is work twice as hard and we will have your support. On behalf of the special children whom I serve, I'm counting on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Donaill House.
My name is Donaill House. I am the music special educator at H1 Chip Wheatley Early Childhood Center. I'm a National Board Certified Exceptional Needs Specialist and a National Board Certified Music Teacher. IDEA says that children with disabilities have available to them the same programs and services available to non-disabled children, including music. However, not until this school year were regional schools and early childhood centers allotted 4 guaranteed countywide positions for music education. This covers students in regional schools, but not students in regional programs which may be housed in regular education schools. Many of those students are still without services through the music department. In 2009, U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan released a letter asserting that the Elementary and Secondary Education Act defines the arts as a core subject, and the arts play a significant role in children's development and learning process. Our students with special needs are being denied access to music education, a core subject. Children with special needs are being either unserved or underserved by the music department because there is no system-wide plan in place for addressing their needs. This is not a classroom teacher issue, as many music teachers are doubling and tripling classes to try to fit special education classes into their schedules. Placing students with special needs in a general education music class with a student-to-teacher ratio of 30 to 1 without supports is neither appropriate nor equitable and in direct violation of IEPs. Students with special needs wouldn't be expected to thrive in core subjects like reading, math, or science without supports like reduced class sizes, picture prompts, behavior intervention plans, or assistive technology. Why would we expect that music class would be any different? Music class is not about sitting around listening to pretty songs. The core art standards will be released this coming June, and music educators will be charged to push their students to the highest level, just like teachers of other subjects are now doing with Common Core. If we are indeed building staff capacity to increase educator effectiveness, we must keep student needs in the forefront. With our current leadership, a district as large as Prince George's County can provide a continuum of music education services, ranging from inclusion in general education music classes for students able to handle the content, to separate music classes taught by a professional knowledgeable in both music and special education. Itinerant music special education resource specialists can provide the necessary supports that general education music teachers are lacking so that our students can be included to the fullest extent they are able. IDEA requires that children with special needs be taught in the least restrictive environment, but it also includes provisions for what is free and appropriate for children with special needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Hilda Navarro.
Good evening, board members. I speak to you today as a representative of the parents and staff of Rogers Heights Elementary School in Bladensburg, Maryland. I would like to present to you the parents who have traveled here tonight to show their support as they ask to consider reinstating full-day pre-K at our school. Stand up, parents at Rogers Heights. Thank you. In the past, we had 3 full-day pre-K classes for over 5 years, and then for the past 2 years, we had only 2 classrooms of half-day pre-K. During this time frame, we have had the opportunity to observe the marked difference in academic achievement between our full-day students and our half-day students. A half-day of instructions does not even come close to providing all the instructions and socialization needed to ensure that our many English language learners and free and reduced lunch students succeed at school. Our students need the opportunity and the time to acquire language skills, as 90% of our pre-K students do not speak English. Having the chance to be in school all day and learn English prior to kindergarten practically guarantee that they will be successful in kindergarten and do not run the risk of repeating kindergarten due to lack of language skills. Lack of full-day pre-K has kept many children from attending school. Many of our low-income families need assistance that full-day pre-K can offer, as many of them work and are not able to enroll their children for only half-a-day program, which still requires securing half-day daycare. Our children need to be enrolled in a program that focuses on providing quality instruction by certified teachers, which only pre-K can provide efficiently. Research showed that children that attend pre-K are more likely to stay in school, graduate, go to college, and get higher paying job. Providing full-day pre-K to area schools help Prince George's County secure a brighter future for its citizens by starting at the very beginning of student educational career. Please help us secure that future for our children starting now. And even when they have half-day, they have 2-hour delay, it doesn't exist. Their morning session doesn't exist. I have 2 older kids that did all-day pre-K, and I'm about to have one that's going to start, and I would love for him to be full day as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Curlane Terry.
Good evening, Prince George's School Board members. I speak to you today as a pre-K parent and as treasurer of the Rogers Heights Elementary PTA. I also have a son in 2nd grade and a daughter in 5th grade. My older children attended pre-K full-time at Rogers Heights, but my son, who is currently in pre-K, is not a full-day student. As a result, I have had the chance to observe firsthand the full impact of not having full-day pre-K instruction. I have been able to compare the benefits and advantages that my older children enjoyed as a full-day pre-K student, as opposed to my son, who is in pre-K, receiving only 2 hours of pre-K instruction daily. My older students were better prepared and had very successful primary school experiences due to their full-day pre-K instruction. They had sharper academic skills and excellent social and emotional adaptive skills as students in pre-kindergarten and 1st grade. They were confident and eager participants in their daily school experience. They have both excelled and continue to excel in subsequent grades at Rogers Heights. My son, Kofi, who is currently a pre-K student, has had limited exposure to the school experiences, and I have had to supplement a lot of extra academic skills at home in order to make up for the instruction and socialization he would have received as a full-day pre-K student. Fortunately for him, I am a stay-at-home mom, and I have the time to devote to my child. However, many other moms are not that fortunate. I especially worry about the many students who are English language learners and need that extra time to learn English. Also, many of the students in our area come from low-income families who do not have the economic means to pay for pre-K out of pocket and can use the respite that full daycare pre-K provides from the high cost of daycare. It is imperative that full-day pre-K is reinstated at Rogers Heights. As a member of the Neighborhood Initiative, it should be included in any efforts that are made to establish full-day pre-K in our neighborhoods. Thank you in advance for your consideration to our request.
And thank you for your comments. Our next speaker is Abina Brown. Is Abina Brown here? Abina Brown, are you here? All right, I don't see Abina moving to the mic, so we'll move on to, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah? Someone wants to take her place back there? All right, our next speaker is Constance Howard.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm a paraprofessional at Wheatley Early Childhood Center, and I wanted to say people of all cultures and ages have loved music for thousands of years. It is what makes us distinctly human. Music has been shown to transcend all areas of development. For students with special needs, music activities should be simple, concrete, and repetitious. The learning experiences for people with cognitive disabilities are more successful when they are concrete. The use of visual aids and manipulative materials are often crucial. Children with cognitive disabilities often develop most concepts in the same stage order as normally developing children, but they achieve them later. Often because of brain damage, these children have difficulty with generalizing and the abstract. Over the past 19 years that I have been employed with Prince George's County Public Schools, I have worked with intensive needs, severe and profound early childhood children who range from being deaf-blind to autistic, but all have in common severe deficits in language development. These children often have gross motor problems in addition to their speech delays. Over the past 12 years, we have had a music teacher who has adapted music to meet the needs of these children. Because music is processed through the entire brain, areas of the brain that are damaged can be stimulated through music. One activity that the music teacher took and adapted into a song was an oral motor exercise from a speech therapist. The children loved it because it was set to music, and at the same time, it helped them with positioning of their tongues. I am including a copy of that song. When the music is adapted, these children will often point to the picture symbols, and after a while you hear them singing the song, and then they can start saying the words they first heard in these songs. The main thing is that these activities in music need to be addressed according to the cognitive needs of the children. If these children were put in a music class without these adaptations, they would become bored very quickly and become behavior problems. That is not to say there are not any behavior problems in adapted music class now, but the teacher and the staff know how to address them, and they are all working together. I can only imagine how some of my former students would do if they had a music teacher who did not understand special ed. Language concepts from the curriculum are often reinforced through the medium of music class. Music gives sensory, visual, and gross motor opportunities to these children that help the physical therapist and the occupational therapist with their goals, which ultimately helps the child to succeed. Please support the music special education programs because we want to ensure the quality of life for our children and our hardest to reach learners. I know music has been a positive influence in my own life, as I'm sure it's been a positive influence in yours as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Sattery Holston. Is Ms. Holston here? Sattery Holston. Okay, following that, then our next speaker is Curry Hosky. Is Curry Hosky here?
Dr. Maxwell, ladies and gentlemen of the board and community members, I'm grateful to be here this evening. My name is Curry Rose Hosky. I'm invested in this county as a homeowner and taxpayer, as well as a wife and mother. My husband is a teacher at Fairmont Heights High School, and we are the parents of a soon-to-be kindergartner. I am also the library media specialist at Berwyn Heights Elementary and Greenbelt Elementary. And ladies and gentlemen, I am still not your mother's librarian. I'm still not Marian, Madam Librarian. I do not wear my hair in a bun and spend all day shushing students, dusting encyclopedias, and playing Quidditch with Harry Potter. I am a teacher, a librarian, a digital diva, and an information specialist. And before I continue, I want to take a cue from our longtime advocate, Tony Andolfado of blessed memory, who always first thanked the board in her speeches. So board members, thank you for continuing to lock our positions at 0.5 in your budget, and for supporting the $4 per student stipend for library materials in this fiscal year. It's an increase of $2 per student over last year, and it's made a huge impact on the quality of books and other materials that we can now provide to our students. I want you to know, however, that throughout the county, the majority of our students only have access to these new materials 50% of the time. That's what happens when we, 0.5 library media specialists, have to split our time between two schools. That's 50% less access to the tools and culture of literacy than if we were 1.0. Because every time a student checks out a book or views a great technology resource, we are giving him a chance to learn, to experience, ideally to imagine and create. That's what's being cut when you continue to fund our positions as merely 0.5. The fundamental literacy building blocks to student success and achievement. In keeping with our Common Core curriculum, library media specialists teach and reteach as our students grow and their information needs change. What begins as picture book story times and dancing and singing with kindergartners evolves into teaching 5th and 6th graders in-depth research skills and close reading of both fiction and nonfiction texts. And that's just in one day's work. For decades now, we library media specialists have been demonstrating best practices in effectively using primary sources and reading, writing from research, and understanding informational text in all content areas. In other words, we were Common Core before Common Core was cool. In all seriousness, it just makes administrative and fiscal sense that we should have full-time positions in which to teach these Common Core skills that are so necessary for our students to achieve college and career readiness. Please restore these library media specialist positions to full-time in your budget. Place it at the top of your wish list for this coming year so that all of our students can have equal and unfettered opportunities to develop the 20th century skills and strategies they need to be successful, productive, and college and career-ready students and citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is Leslie Ann Alexander.
Good evening, Dr. Maxwell, Dr. Eubanks, board members, and guests. My name is Leslie Ann Alexander. I'm a parent of a second grader and a fifth grader at Dodge Park Elementary, where I also serve as the PTO president. I'm here today asking the board to approve a proposal to increase the pre-kindergarten program from half-day to full-day at Dodge Park. Although my children did not attend Dodge Park in pre-kindergarten, they did have the benefit at attending a full-day program. I truly believe that the earlier students are exposed to a structured program, the better foundation they will have. I have two reasons why this proposal should be approved. One, it gives our preschoolers a full day of structured academic activity. And two, it takes away the stress of trying to find childcare for other half of the day. The current half-day program only gives students 3 hours of schooling, and many go to babysitter afterwards or back home where they're not guaranteed that there are any academic activity goes on. During the time that the students are in school, they are having lunch, recess, music, PE, and other extra activity outside of direct instructions. So how much time do they really have to build their readiness skills? I know that the readiness skills are very important to their success when starting kindergarten. This is one reason why a full-day program is needed. My second reason is for approving this proposal is that will relieve parents of their stress of finding childcare for the other half of the day. There are some parents who opt not to put their child in a program for this very reason. It is very difficult for parents like myself who work unusual shifts hours to find quality childcare. If the proposal were approved for Dodge Park to have full-day program, this would take away huge stress from the families in our community. I am sure more families would want to take advantage of a full-day program. So in closing, I would like to ask this board to truly consider the progress our students would make being a full-day pre-kindergarten program versus half-day. Thank you for this opportunity to speak.
And thank you for speaking. Our next speaker is Denise Joseph.
Good evening. My name is Denise Joseph, and I wanted to thank you for allowing me to speak today. I come before you to speak on a topic near and dear to me. I believe specialty programs will help our students become college and career ready and awesome students in their own right. So I have a couple different specialty programs I would like for the board to consider for the budget for next year. Establish a tag center at Gwen Park Middle School so students don't have to be bused to Walker Middle Schools from District 5, 7, and 9. Set up an apprenticeship program through the Department of Labor Licensing and Regulations at Croom and Tall Oaks High Schools to get youth learning and earning money through hands-on programs with the ability to get licenses similar to the cosmetology, hair, and massage programs already existing at other schools. Revamp Camp Smith to become the Mecca Environmental Science Center in the region with a nature center, zip lines, and equipment that will strongly encourage our students to become scientists. We established ELO programs for all students, not for all schools, not just Title I and turnaround schools, with fully funded activity buses, as we know that 60% of learning happens outside the classroom. Also, create a summer job program for all students that want to work that are eligible to work. There are approximately 84,000 students between 13 and 18 in Prince George's County. Let's get them engaged, involved, and college and career ready, and work with the Chamber of Commerce, Parking Planning, the One Stop Career Center, and local businesses to hire students that want to work, and consider a tax incentive for them. Also, cultivate partnerships and programs and better access for individuals, nonprofits, and other organizations that want to work with the school system. This would also create other specialty and unique programs that would support our students' goals. And lastly, I have a couple other things that are not under that, but also reinstate parent liaisons for better engagement and follow up with parents and students with parent engagement forums at least quarterly, and launch a foster care office, a foster youth office to deal with demanding needs of our foster youth in the system, and possibly partner with the homeless office since there's some overlap. And lock counselor and secretaries, registrars, and librarian positions at least 0.5 at every school, preferably 1.0, as the wonderful librarian talked about earlier, and look at ways to reduce spending and be accountable for every dollar budgeted, spent, and used for the betterment of Prince George's County Public Schools. Thank you.
And thank you. Our next speaker is Maureen Jones.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Maureen Jones, and my daughter attends Tulip Grove Elementary School in Bowie. I'm speaking tonight to voice my support for temporarily relocating Tulip Grove to the former Meadowbrook Elementary School during the renovation scheduled to take place in July 2014. I'd like to begin by expressing my appreciation for the money that has already been budgeted to replace our current school with the cutting-edge educational building described to us by the architectural firm in December. As the parents of 4 children living in the Tulip Grove community, my husband and I will see our children reap the benefits of an updated school for the years to come, as we will have at least 1 child at Tulip Grove until 2025. I didn't check my math on that because I was a little in shock after I figured that out. With that said, I'm presently concerned with the outcome of the renovation decision, the effects of which will be felt by my daughter, who will be entering 4th grade, and my son, who will be starting kindergarten in August. As our PTA president has communicated, the Meadowbrook option is the only acceptable option, as it eliminates a long commute to and from school each day, and for the many other reasons already shared. I realize there are several steps in the process of getting our choice approved, and plans put into place to ensure that Meadowbrook is operational for the 2014-2015 school year. And as each day passes, as a parent, the anxiety builds, as we are approximately 22 weeks away from teachers reporting back to duty for the 2014-2015 school year. As it appears, there are 2 immediate tasks that need to be addressed. Number 1, money needs to be made available for Meadowbrook to be restored to a usable condition with the construction of a cafeteria in order to pass health inspection, and the go-ahead needs to be given to pursue the discussion of terminating leases with the 2 groups currently occupying the building. The CIP office has told the Tulip Grove community that they are preparing a presentation with the gathered recommendations for your review and expect to have a decision in early March. I'm asking for your support in leading a timely review of the information that the CIP office has diligently prepared with the Tulip Grove community's input, and ensuring that a decision is made within the time frame communicated to us on February 19th, which would mean a decision within the next 3 weeks. As we all know and understand, there is a protocol to the decision-making process that needs to be followed. But there is also an urgency to this matter, as there are concrete things that need to happen in order for Meadowbrook to become a reality, or we will simply run out of time. As of now, it's been 3 months, almost, since the idea of Meadowbrook has been publicly proposed by the Tulip Grove community as the option of first choice. and thank you for hearing us tonight.
And thank you for coming out to be heard. Our next speaker is Abraham Ajenifuja. Please tell me I was somewhere in the ballpark.
110%. My name is Abraham Ajenifuja. I'm the president of the PTSA High Point High School. Good evening, board members. Good evening, Dr. Eubanks. Your name, Shagun, it means a lot to me because I know what that name means. It means an overcomer. So we are counting on the board to help us overcome the problem at High Point High School. Will the delegation from High Point High School please rise if you are here from High Point High School? All right, thank you. I'm here today as the president of the PTSA High Point High School. Before I became president, I was a parent and still a parent of a student and member of the faith community. As the president of the PTSA, I want to thank County Executive Rashan Baker, who averted a disastrous situation last year before the school began when we had water leaking from the ceiling, a very dangerous electrical situation in the school, but he averted it for us, and we thank him for that. I want to thank Ms. Sabrina Epps for being our District 1 overseer. Thank you for your visit to the school last week or so, and we appreciate your valuable contribution to us. Also, thank you, Mr. Dr. Maxwell, for your vision for the county. Thank you for the presentation you made last October, which I was present. I'm very impressed by your vision for the school community here in Prince George County. Thank you very much. High Point High School has always been the center and pride of the community. The school had glory days in academics, athletics, and intercultural and extramural that brought the community together. Over the years before the new principal came on board, the school had bad reputation, stemming from the neglect in academics and also the dilapidating building that affected the morals of the students. The school is a reflection of the community. When the school thrives, the community also thrives, and vice versa. Thanks to Ms. Sandy Imenez, the school principal, that the condition of the school has been improving since she became principal 3 years ago. And there's a great momentum building up right now in the area of academics and the technological opportunities in the corridors of Bellsville High Point High School. However, the school building structure is not reflective of the name of the school, High Point. The school building is old and not able to withstand or accommodate the new technologies of tomorrow. There's also the cost-benefit issue of remodeling the school. I believe, on behalf of the PTSA, there's a waste of tax revenue to invest additional monies into renovating the school continuously without achieving the results, which are a safe, healthy, technology-ready school for tomorrow's students and employers. We pray that you will consider us for the new school when it will come before you, that you approve us for a brand new school. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for coming out this evening. Our next speaker is Kathy Blanchard.
Good evening, and thank you for letting me speak tonight. I come before you as a parent of a Tulip Grove elementary student, a first grader. My name is Kathy Blanchard, and I have a first grader at Tulip Grove Elementary. We are very excited to have our new school renovated, or our old school renovated, and look forward to having a new green school in the next few years. That's very, very exciting. When my son first came to Tulip Grove last year, I was amazed at how much parent involvement there is and how many programs such as art awareness and holiday events that we have at the school, and how much they are dependent on parent volunteers. I know that if the temporary arrangements for Tulip Grove involve a longer commute, it will be very hard to have the amount of volunteers that we have now. The change is going to be awkward for the students already going into a new school. So if they don't have the parent involvement that they do have now, I think that would be even harder for them. My first choice for relocation would be the Meadowbrook location. I know that this will cause the least amount of disruption to the students and to the parents and grandparents and daycare providers that we all so much rely on to help us drop off and pick up our kids from school. This also will be the least disruptive to the busing schedule because it is the closest to the location of Tulip Grove. When I first heard about the relocation, I was worried and thought about what my options were going to be to try to find a different school. I know that I was not alone in thinking that, and I know and if the school is moved out of Bowie, then the enrollment will drop from Tulip Grove. And I just wanted to acknowledge all our Tulip Grove parents that are here tonight. If everybody could please stand one more time. And I think the opportunity to keep our kids in Bowie is one that should not be overlooked. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak tonight.
Our next speaker this evening, thank you, by the way. Our next speaker this evening is Karen Coakley. Okay. No Karen Coakley this evening? No? Okay. Our next speaker is Linda Langer. Linda Langer or Langer?
Thank you, Dr. Maxwell and the board. I'm Linda Langer from High Point High School, Library Media Specialist, and a National Board Certified Teacher. I'd like to speak about instructional media specialists and how our role connects to the Common Core. Instructional media specialists are well equipped to introduce new technologies and to teach technology literacy aspects of the standards. The inquiry-based nature of the Common Core standards focus on student-directed learning instead of the old, tired teaching method of the teacher lecture. This aligns with the librarian's belief in leading a user-based approach to information discovery. Students are also required to back up their responses with research, developing lifelong learning skills that media specialists are uniquely qualified to teach them. In addition, Common Core standards prompt students to analyze nonfiction books, build connections to the text, and locate and use nonfiction text features. Instructional media specialists teach these skills and share these best practices. I found a pertinent quote on the Richland College website that I shared a few years ago, and I'd like to share it again. As a college librarian, I am amazed by the lack of research skills that most of the students have when they get here. I have heard similar remarks from college professors at conferences. Students must be career and college ready. This is exactly why our students require a certified and qualified full-time librarian at every school in order for them to efficiently and effectively locate, evaluate, and use information hidden in an ocean of facts. On behalf of our students, please restore staffing levels to ensure that there is a full-time media specialist at all schools, and continue to provide the funding levels for new materials at $4 per student. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Good night.
And thank you very much for speaking this evening. And our final speaker this evening is Kelly Burgess.
Good evening, Dr. Maxwell. Good evening, board. And I had some prepared comments, but after hearing all these wonderful testimonies and appeals, I just am going to tell a story for 2 minutes and end with a quote. I'm a product of this system. I came at the crossroads of this county back in the early 1970s when Prince George's County was a sleepy, rural suburb of Washington, D.C. And it was rural. And we lived 2 blocks inside of Maryland in Mount Rainier, where my mother still resides. I went to Thomas Doan Elementary School. I went to Hyattsville Middle School, which had a special program, which was orchestra. Played the violin, a little nerdy African-American boy in the 4th grade. And it made the difference in my life, the fact that I played that. It set my life on a tremendous trajectory. And hearing about all these special programs, hearing about special education music teachers, because that is a forgotten area. When that child goes to a general music class and does not have assistance, it really affects the instruction. When you hear about the changing nature of our county with the burgeoning Hispanic community, and us recognizing that we have to address that, just like the county had to address it back in the late 70s and early 80s when the county was changing from predominantly white to predominantly black. We have the opportunity now, with all of these different things that have been talked about tonight, to make a difference. Our CEO sent a survey out to us about 2 weeks ago and said, what are the 5 things that we really, really need to focus on? And then how will we know that we're doing that? And so one of the quotes in the books that he's recommended, at least to our principal, and I wanted to acknowledge real quick some staff from Dwight D. Eisenhower, Ms. Nam from Dwight D. Eisenhower Middle School, appreciate that, is that in the book, Good to Great, it talked about how not all time is the same, and there's time when you need to move slow when you can, and then you need to act quickly when you need to. And there's some things where you need to act quickly. And the middle years IB program at Dwight D. Eisenhower is something that needs to be acted quickly upon, because as the largest middle school in that area, we have a tremendous opportunity to say to that community, which is very, very tight-knit, that we are serious about the education of your children, not just education in general. And there's special programs like the Attention to Music and Special Needs and IB programs that allow us to build capacity in our people and show the community that we're serious about educating the kids that are in front of us now. We have a tremendous opportunity with a diverse county, as diverse as we have, from the Hispanic population down in Langley Park and sprinkled throughout to the urban issues that we deal with because we're so close to the city, to the suburban issues that come with high incomes and dual earners. We have an opportunity to set a stage in this country to say we are able to do this, we're up to the challenge, and we put our money where our mouth is. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This concludes our public hearing this evening. Let me just say, I believe I speak for my colleagues on the panel when I say there's not much that's more gratifying and more daunting than what we hear this evening. It's gratifying because every one of us here on this dais deeply share your passion. We share your goals and your visions for making this good county great and for moving this school system to one that will be one of the premier school systems in the nation. We share that passion and we share that commitment with you deeply. It's daunting because with limited resources and lots of challenges, we know we can't say yes to everybody. We wish we could, and we know now with limited resources and limited time, we've made what we hope you'll see tomorrow about this same time, some tough but some very smart and very visionary choices to move this county forward and to move it in the right direction. Your voice, your passion, your commitment, your pull, your push, your encouragement, and your passion and commitment means so much to helping us move this forward. So again, come back tomorrow to hear us approve this budget, and then make sure you're with us every other week when we move the budget that we create tomorrow forward over the next year. We need your help to do that as well. So thank you very much. We'll reconvene tomorrow at 7:05 p.m. for our next meeting. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.